Proportional change volume. Storage boxes at We Packet Incorporated come in many different sizes. One box measures 4 foot by 4 foot by 2 foot. A similar box measures 2 foot by 2 foot by 1 foot. How does the volume of the smaller box compare to the volume of the larger box? Well, first let's look at the larger box. It has a length of 4 feet, a width of 2 feet, and a height of 4 feet. And we know since it's a rectangular prism, we can multiply length times width times height to find its volume. Or we could count all the cubes if we wanted to. 4 times 2 is 8 times 4 is 32. So there are 32 cubic feet represented in the green box. The smaller box has a volume of only 4 cubic units because we know that 2 times 1 times 2 is 4, and we can see the 4 boxes in the blue figure. Well, let's look at what scale factor was used to create the smaller box. First, we notice that 4 times 1/2 gives us 2. And we know that 2 times 1/2 gives 1. And 4 times 1/2 gives us 2. So it looks like we've taken half of the length, half of the width, and half of the height. Well, let's do that. If the length is 4, I want to take half of it away. So I'll just take the boxes away and stack them over here. Half of 4 is 2. So our length will now be 2. Then we want to take half of 2. Well, half of 2 is 1, and that's our depth, or how wide the figure is. So I'll take away this front layer. So now I've cut the depth of my box from 2 to 1. And last, I want to cut the height from 4 to 2. So I'm going to take away half of the height. What's left is 4 cubic feet, just like our blue figure, which means we've really taken 32 and divided by 8 to get 4. Or another way to think of it is we took 1/8 of the original volume. 32 times 1/8 is 4. So we've proven that the volume is 1/8 the original amount. But another way to get 1/8 is to multiply 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2. 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2 is the same as 1/2 to the third power because you're using 1/2 as a factor 3 times. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. So 1/2 to the third power is the same as 1/8. We multiplied 1/2 3 times because we took half the length, half the width, and half the height. So the volume of the smaller box is 1/8 the volume of the larger box. Anytime you are changing the volume of a figure proportionately, you will multiply the original volume by the scale factor 3 times. Or you can multiply by the scale factor to the third power.